Okay, this is heading into one of the most challenging places I think I've ever been in my 33 years of driving. I was about 6 feet behind that car, just so you know. In the gate, drive around here. I have to wait until I can get my trailer around that pole on the left side. And watch out over the hood of this thing, you know, it's crazy. Here I'm still on the phone. I'm getting some instructions from the guy I'm leased to on what I'm picking up and how many pallets I should have and that kind of stuff. He's been in here a lot, so, you know, he's kind of giving me the pep talk here. Hey, you can do this. I'm like, are you sure, man? I don't know. And he's like, oh, yeah. If so-and-so can do it, you can do it. And I'm like, oh, heck yeah, I can do it if he can do it. So now we're starting to blindside around here, trying to get my trailer around that retaining wall that you saw in the very beginning there with all the yellow paint and the big chunks missing out of it. So blindsiding around, you know, I wish I had another camera where you could see the mirrors or see out down the sides to see what I'm doing. But at this point, you know, I'm just jacking around forward and backward, trying to get my trailer pointed in the right direction. Now, I have a spread axle 53-foot trailer. My axles stay spread, but I can slide the whole thing ahead. And at this point, I have my axles slid all the way up just to be getting in and around places. But backing in has proven to be a challenge with that, because at this point now I've got, you know, all this backswing behind the rear axle. And not to mention, there is a point with a spread where you start pivoting off the front axle rather than the back or in the center. And it makes it kind of challenging. So that's the difficulty I'm having right here. There's a truck backed into the dock to the right of the one that I'm backing into. And my trailer keeps wanting to head just right straight for his tractor. So I'm just trying to get positioned where I can get my trailer pointed away from the front of his truck. And at one point here, I'm actually going to get out and look. I've actually gotten out and looked a couple times here at this point, you know, and I'm trying really hard to keep my fender and my bumper and everything away from those yellow poles. I'm close, but I'm within, you know, I'm less than, or, you know, a little over 3 feet away from them. So at this point now, you know, I'm struggling, and the backswing on my trailer keeps trying to hit the building over on the left side. You know, so, and you'll see later, there's a big yellow framework to keep people from actually hitting the building. So at this point, I'm out looking around. I'm contemplating sliding my axles back, which is right about the point where this guy pulls in and kind of gets in the way. But he's been in here enough times. This guy actually been in here twice in the same day already. Really cool dude. Just slid my axles all the way back. Now, keep in mind, I'm still at probably a 30-degree angle or so to my trailer. So I'm still blindsiding in, not straight, trying to get my trailer straightened out up into the ramp, past that truck, and past the wall without ripping my doors off. So it's a lot of just back and forth, little bits at a time. I finally get my trailer pointed in the right direction here, and that was the receiver or the shipper guy. That wasn't me. But you'll see I get out here in a second, and I run around the front here and look up the passenger side to make sure we're still doing okay, and I'm not going to hit this Frymiller truck that's to my right, pulled about 15 feet away from the door. So I got my trailer pretty well lined up in there where it needs to be. Getting backed in, you know, moving way back. Now we're straight. All right, look at that. Now we're back in the door and almost there. See, there's that yellow framework I was talking about, you know, and I was trying, if this other truck wouldn't have been in the door, or if he'd have been backed up farther, you know, because my truck and trailer are about 15 feet longer than him. I could have got around him really easily. Here we go. Got loaded on my way out. Pulling ahead here. Everything's looking good. There's nothing over to the left. That dock's empty. Nobody is in my way. I'm thinking, man, I have this free and clear. So I got to pull out. I got to slide my axles back ahead, and that's gonna. It doesn't totally mess me up here, but it does a little bit, because as I'm messing around here, another truck pulls in, and it's not a big deal, but I get a little frustrated here because the guy pulls in and then just sits right in my way. It's not this guy here. I'm actually out of the truck right now, getting everything done. So you'll see the hood wiggle here in a minute when I drag my big carcass up inside the truck and back up. That's actually, that's the driver that was up earlier in that veterans truck. He's a pretty cool dude. We had a pretty good conversation on the dock. He comes in here all the time. And he'd actually been, like I said earlier, like 2 or 3 times that day for the same stuff. And he finally, they kept telling him to leave. And he said, no, I'm just staying right here. I'm not going anywhere. Now, there was some lower docks that backed down a ramp next to the 2 that I backed up. He actually was down there getting some freight put on and then had to move to the door next to me. So it's the guy that ends up getting in my way, and he's unaware. He doesn't know that I'm trying to leave. But he stops at one point here and just sits there for a little bit and stares at me. And I have to actually, wave him on, because he doesn't understand I'm trying to leave. I think he looks at me and sees me backing up. He thinks I'm just backing up. So now we've got some communication going. He's getting out of the way. And here I go. I'm off like a rocket. I did speed this up. I'm not moving this fast. So now here's the worst part. I can't see what's coming off on the right lane over there, really, because of the angle here. I start pulling up, and this guy in this yellow Camaro, man, he starts acting like he's going to let me out. And I thought, he'd be cool because he drives a cool car and I drive a cool truck. No, he's a total jackass. He just cuts right around in front of me. Off to the left, there's a garbage truck over here. He lets me out. Super nice guy. I wave at him, tell him thank you out the window. Traffic coming from the right was stopped because of the traffic light. So now we're just going to go get on the freeway and head off to my next pickup, which was another one that was really tight. That place off to the left right there, is that it? Let's see. Wait, no. So the old produce market's off to the left down that road right there where that light was. That's all been redone now. This banner over here on the left, that's another place, man. You got to turn in there. You got to swing way out wide, unless you're coming from the direction I'm at right now, and turn into their driveway right by their building. And then it's a blindside back once you get in there. It's kind of tight. It's not horrible, but if there's a bunch of trucks in there, it is an absolute pain, and then just watching this thing going down the road, you can see looking out over the hood, and you're not sitting back where I am. You're sitting right up at the windshield at the base of the hood. And you can see just how long, that hood is and how far it sticks out there. And it's kind of cool. I really like it, man. I love looking out over that hood and going, man, this thing barely fits on this road. And even with my axles all the way ahead now, I got to hang way out to the left. And my trailer axles are still right over by that white line or a little over it. So we're going to get down here and we're going to sneak on I believe this is the 290 as I recall, and go head for Amboy, Illinois is where I'm going. And it's always kind of neat, you look at this, the amount of blind spot on this truck is crazy, and I've had guys say, well, why don't you put mirrors out on the hood? Yeah, well, why don't you put mirrors on your head? To me, it looks just as silly, I don't need it. I lean forward. The guy to my left, he saw my turn signal on. He was super nice, let me out. He was halfway up my tractor, right up by my drive tires where my light bar is, and he saw the turn signals come on, and he backed off. He almost came to a stop to let me in. That was really cool. That doesn't happen every day, so I waved at him, out the window and flashed my lights saying thank you. But yeah, you guys, some of you have asked for this kind of stuff. I thought I would do a voiceover because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not real pleasant during the filming of this. Some of the things that I said are very unbecoming, and I shouldn't be talking like I do when I'm in those situations. But there's some colorful language there that shouldn't be there, and it's just because I'm frustrated. No excuse, but I don't feel it's appropriate to have that in my recordings. And if the wrong person, hears that, it could really upset them. So I don't need tender ears hearing some of the things that roll out of my mouth from time to time. Here we are, just typical traffic in Chicago. Now I know it looks like I'm right on this guy's butt, but I'll be honest with you, I'm like 20 feet behind him. Just because of the length of the hood and the angle and everything, it looks like I'm a lot closer than I am. So, and like I said, I just stay in the right lane usually and just kind of ease along. I got to get off the freeway up here in just a little bit, change interstates. So, that's why I'm staying in the lane that I'm in. But yeah, so that's one of the places that I had never been to before that I will probably see again and again and again. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this little sped up version, and thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Keep the shiny side up and the greasy side down. We'll catch you on the flip side. Thank you.